What's up, nerds? Time zone to you all. Welcome to SpeedGaming Prime for another A Link to the Past Randomizer race, the Casual Boots Tournament, round one of brackets between ScottishBrave44 and Zeke Highwind. My name is Tyler Salt, joined in the booth today by James FNX. James, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic, and this should be a really great race. Round one of the brackets, round of 64. Both these runners, Scottish Brave and Zeke Highwind, made it out of groups. And best of one. We're going to get someone moving on today and someone exiting the tournament.
Yeah, nothing like a winner go home match here today. Zeke was seated slightly higher here, 29th in brackets. Scottish Brave at 36th. So this should be pretty even, though there's not much of a difference between those two slots. So it should be a pretty solid race as we get some bombs right away.
Bombs are great. We're not going to need them for the escape because we have boots, but getting bombs before Kakariko means you're not going to have to sit and farm at the spot next to the fortune teller shop.
I love that spot. That's always very convenient. Do a little quick bonk there to get those rocks. But we're gonna get a sword. It's casual boots. We start with a sword here. Once we talk to Uncle, we start with the boots, and we have the standard escape sequence like in the vanilla game.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a ton to talk about here. Let's talk about so you get 50 rupees out of the back of escape, or the back of the Uncle. Not a lot to talk here to start out with. Just both runners going to be executing as best they can.
Yeah, Boots Escape. Boots Escape in Rando. You want to be coming out of Sank at around 5:30 on average, I would say. That's been my experience. Really clean execution can get you as low down as I've seen around 5 minutes. Couple seconds later than that.
Yeah, runners gonna be hoping for things like a mirror or another sword to speed things up as we go through. Blue mail, it's fine, but not gonna really help you speed anything up here in the escape.
Makes the ball and chain guard less scary. I think everybody's lost a run or put themselves in a hole right away, dying to the ball and chain guard and escape before. It makes him slightly less scary, which is nice.
Yeah, and Zeke having a little problem with one of the green guards setting up here. That blue mail is not going to help you at all with these green guards. They're going to do a half-hearted damage no matter what your mail is. We've got two Pokemon sprites. Looks like Scottish Brave with her usual Charizard, Charmeleon, and Charizard, Charmander combo. And it looks like Zeke is hitting a Deerling.
I don't know. The only Pokemon I've ever played was the first gen. So anything that wasn't in that first 151, I don't know. So.
The nice part is they're all made up anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
That's true.
Scottish Brave a little quicker to get Zelda and start to climb back up. Leafeon, chat let us know. One of the Eevee evolutions. A lot of dashing here, a lot of dash turns to try and save frames. Things start to get interesting again once we get to the back escape. We'll see how these runners approach the rooms in the back.
We've got the Stardew Valley MSU from Brave today, and if we switch audio over to Zeke, you'll hear some Ace Attorney later today. Couple words about where these runners came from in terms of the groups. Brave was finished first in her group at 4 and 2, advanced along with Koi over Technaldo and Scrupula. Zeke finished 5 and 1 in his group, advanced along with TWW2 over Sawyer and Link past Ken.
Kind of an unfortunate pairing for Zeke. You finish 5-1. You're going to hope for someone who finished second in their group at least, but does end up picking up Scottish Brave here in the first round.
Yeah, a tough draw for sure.
Just a map in
Darkross. Nice.
It was. So items all the way in the back.
We'll see if our runners, either of our runners decides to do anything other than just go to CAC here.
I haven't really seen a reason to yet. We do have 4 more items to look at before making that decision, though.
There's a glove and the flippers. So there's some reasons, maybe.
Potentially. Not really close to Zora money, even with a Houlihan, so that kind of doing a Houlihan to South Shore doesn't really make a ton of sense. I can still see both these runners heading to Kakariko with those 2 items.
I think that's probably the play here. So we see Brave pull ahead by about a room or so. 520 or so. Zeke coming out at 525, give or take. Very nice escapes by both our runners.
Yeah, very solid from both these runners, and Scottish is going to head over to Kakariko. Zeke is as well. And in casual boots, you got to remember to do these bonk rocks in your first trip up. Zeke does not.
Zeke, yeah, skipping bonk rocks here. Maybe a bit of a brain fart, but not gonna be punished by that. Just a piece of heart at bonk rocks.
It's that mental damage. You're like, oh, I'm casual boots. I should have did this check.
Yeah.
And I didn't. 10 arrows at mushroom spot. Scottish Brave is also going to give a check of lumberjack ledge as we see more arrows in the forest. Stares a shame for Scottish as she sees a piece of heart in lumberjack cave.
Oh, you know what? Oh, Zeke finds we've got big 20s from the bush crab today. Zeke is going back up to lumberjack this way. As Brave finds a very unfortunate bush card there.
So maybe this is Zeke saying, "I'm going to skip Kakariko."
It's that, yeah. That seems very plausible based on his routing here. But it's possible he just made a mistake and is just looping it back in this way. Could be going up the mountain with this glove.
Could be, yeah. One thing I might have done if I was Zeke in this position is getting the bush crab on that last screen as well. Get your rupee count up. There's one here that spawns sometimes. It does spawn for Zeke, which is nice.
50-50. And yeah, he's going straight up the mountain. These aren't in logic, but it's 2 quick checks. And you get the save and quit from saving the old man as Brave makes her way into Kakariko Village.
Yeah, the save and quit is the really nice part here. The 2 items are... The old man item is somewhat quick. Up the mountain is kind of slow, though, even with boots. As we see a shovel in blindside for Scottish Brave.
Early fetch quests. Love to see it.
Yeah, the shovel is a nice one. It loops right in with the Kakariko.
Old man just with bombs. It's like a cool mint mountain here on Zeke's side. Pallet shuffle.
Yeah, it is. Using those bombs to climb a little bit faster in that spin seed state. And the first 3 checks of the mountain, very barren.
So is the well, just hearts and rupees.
Yeah. And Zeke saving quitting to Sanctuary. Is this going to be a play for Houlihan? Or is this going to go to Kakariko? Looks like we're going to hit Kakariko.
Back at this point, yeah. Brave has got to be upset that we're less than 10 minutes in and she already has a shield. Known shield hater. And
Zeke just need these flippers.
Is following out, following flippers over to the Ice Rod Cave spot. As we got mirror shield emotes in chat.
Kakariko, very, very barren. Just the shovel so far. We do have 2 more checks. Maze Race and then the shovel spot itself.
Oh, yeah. Just a Lackarico today. Zeke perhaps with the right play. Not like Zeke's never going to do the CAC checks, you know?
Right.
But is going to be first to progression, most likely, unless it's here on the shovel.
And Zeke's setting up a water walk. We'll be able to dash up to Old Man. There's a bow at that dig spot. That is nice. And we get a first look at our crystal and pendant layout. Looked like a red pendant at Eastern, a red crystal at Hera, and a regular crystal at Desert.
That is what I saw. We'll see if Scottish loves Eastern Palace, big Eastern fan. But with it being a pendant, yeah, she's gonna go to South Shore. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Scottish make that dip into pendant Eastern at some point with that bow.
First bottle under the bridge for Zeke had his water walk eaten a little bit. Wasn't able to avoid that patch of soft water. Or shallow water.
Soft water.
It's soft water or hard water. It's fine. There's a hammer.
Ooh.
Hammer sitting at the dam.
I was really hoping to have a chance to use my new Aga emote, but so far, not looking like casual boots coming through for us with an Agassiz this time around.
You got yourself a 1 in 216 chance now. Can only be at the.
And there are the mitts.
Zeke did get Zora money out of Waterfall Ferry. B for B.
Hammer and mitts at Dam. That's wild.
It's just a swamp, but in the light.
Mini Moldorm Cave giving us some love and some money, but not much else.
Unless this Moon Pearl it's not on Zora, just $20, a poor conversion rate. Looks like Eastern Palace or Strasso's Hut is going to have our Moon Pearl.
Looks that way.
There's always a Gina, which is a check that's a little bit better in casual boots than it is in an open seed, but it's still pretty bad.
We'll see if Scottish does the water walk play here with the boots. Will be helped out by that 300 in Waterfall Ferry, and she is walking out. So it looks like that is on the menu.
Yeah, the kind of the hallmark of casual boots is that water walk. Whether you have a Moon Pearl or not, you're able to get all of the items in the water.
Now, one thing about with this CAC delay play that Zeke has made, Zeke does have the bottle from the vanilla bottle from the hobo, and so we'll see if he's going to be able to check Sick Kid on his first trip through Kakariko. Brave is going to need to make another trip just to see him, so we'll see if that pays out for Zeke here.
Yeah, thankfully it's we have mitts already, so it's not a huge deal to get back to Kakariko as it might be if it was just a glove plus hammer. So unless it's like an ice rod there, I don't think it's going to burn Scottish Brave too much, no matter what it is.
Zeke bombing that back chest there. Love it when runners emote with bombs when they know they're on restream.
Sometimes you just need to express yourself through fits of violence.
Zeke selling that good beat for 100 rupees.
Smart play.
Or for 3 bombs, I guess. Good bee for a good bee.
Both our runners have avoided the same thing so far. Eastern Palace, Strassel's Agina. Gonna be hard to avoid him at this point. This is our first new check in a bit here at Sick Kid, and it's a boomerang.
It's not even a good boomerang.
I think it's a good boomerang.
It's a fine meringue.
Was that a green 20 in the back of Tavern for our Boots location?
I did not see, but maybe. And Brave is going to be our first runner over to the Saha Eastern area.
Yeah, guaranteed 4 items in Logic, 6 items total. We don't really care about Logic. We have Blue Veil, have a bow, so finishing Eastern Palace is not going to be an issue. It is a pendant, so that might weigh on our runner's decision.
Oh, wow. Brave noping out after Saha.
Very interesting, because I'm not sure what she has left.
She's going to sequence break up the mountain, maybe? Oh, King's Tomb.
King's Tomb. This is a fresh check.
And Zeke is going to show us, is going to come down here and do the dam now, or go from Mini Moldorm Cave. This makes sense with the way that he routed this. New Mini Moldorm came over to dam, over to Agina.
Yeah, so that'll be a fresh check as well, and Zeke will also get the hammer and mitts.
Nothing in King's Tomb, and so Scottish is going to head over up towards... Gonna do Sick Kid look really quickly, looks like. Trying to exhaust her options before dipping into Pendant Eastern, looking for that Moon Pearl.
I don't like this. I think you're in the area. You don't have a real reason to go back yet. You don't have a mirror to make it a location you're going to want to check once you're in pod. You don't even know if pod's a crystal or a pendant.
Yeah.
I think you just get in there and get the couple items that are in Logic, and then make a decision whether you want to finish the dungeon out or not.
I tend to agree, and looks like she's going back. So a little bit of a gamble for two of those for those one-off checks. Maybe thinking that progression, that Moon Pearl was a little bit farther down the chain rather than just being in Sphere 1 like these Eastern checks. A reasonable thought, but not paying out today.
Zeke picked up that hammer. We'll pick up those mitts in just a moment and head over to Agina, so we'll get fresh looks on both sides here.
And there's the Moon Pearl, and she is out.
Yeah, we got so much to do. There's no reason to stay here at this point. All of Thieves Town, all of the Village of Outcasts, at least, a bunch of checks, not necessarily any items in Skullwoods. Just tons of stuff to do.
So Brave with the early advantage here. First to the Moon Pearl, first to the Dark World. Zeke over here at Agina, just 10 arrows. And we did see a shield. Oh, we got, let's see, Red Crystal at Mire, Green Pendant Swamp, Pendant TR.
Yeah, that's Pendant TR, always a good thing to see. You don't want to be like hunting for an ice rod for go mode. Not to say that Turtle Rock doesn't have anything, but definitely a better feeling to have it as a pendant than a crystal.
We're visiting Johnny Two Bombs here. 20 rupees, a piece of heart. The Fire Rod. Love to start down here at Hype Cave and get the Fire Rod and know that you can now swing around the west side of the Dark World and full clear 2 crystal dungeons on your way.
Yeah, and I think if I was Brave here, I might just check Pyramid, and then save and quit and go into the Dark World from Kakariko Village. But Brave is going to do these checks down here.
Here. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Pyramid Ledge, as Brave pulls her second bottle there from Stumpy. Pyramid Ledge is my least favorite check to route in the game. I can, unless it's an Agassiz, I never find a good time to do it. And that's a decent time to do it. I think if you've got the hammer, you're just going into the Dark World for the first time, do it right away.
Yeah, I could even see like taking it all the way to Catfish, because Catfish is so isolated right now. You've already done Zora, one dig, one piece of heart.
You love to see it.
Oh, absolutely. I might have stuck around and dug at least a few more rupees up if I was Brave, though. She can't even afford archery game now. Won't be able to afford chess game.
Yeah, but you can just do. You got hammer pegs, you got brewery, you got C-shaped house, and you can leave chess game until after Thieves Town if you want. You're almost certainly gonna get 8 rupees.
Certainly hope so.
Zeke did bail out of Eastern after the Pearl as well. So both runners in the same position as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, it looks like Zeke starting up here for King's Tomb is going to enter in Kakariko, missing on the Fire Rod, which is pretty important.
Yep, we're going to need that, and is going to means a second trip to the area to clear Skullwoods.
Oh no, it's gonna take. This is smart. This is really smart. I forgot about that portal.
Heads up routing there by Zeke.
Getting his dungeon info. As Brave does find 20 rupees enough to pay for the chess game.
Yep. Never punished.
Absolutely not. The thing we'll have to watch now is whether she'll have enough money for Palace of Darkness by the time she gets there.
I mean, probably, right? There are a lot of rupees in this game. Neglected to mention, by the way, that we have Royale with Cheese back here on back end tracking for us. Thanks, Royale.
Zeke is going to take this up to Pyramid Ledge.
Yeah, we'll see if we get a nice Hera basement check for noted Hera basement enthusiast Royale with Cheese. So far, not much of note in the front of Thieves Town.
Just small key, big key, 2 items, a heart and some firewood.
The average start there, as Zeke is taking his fire rod and hammer and bow over to Crystal Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense too. Fully completable dungeon, a little bit out of logic, but shouldn't be too much to handle. You got blue mail, got a bunch of hearts,
and the fire rod. The fire rod puts the rupee basement into logic. The dark maze is very accessible. And the fire rod makes Dark Turtles much easier.
Yeah, it makes it absolutely playable. Also, coming in at low health is kind of nice. You're going to want to do a death warp anyways, because you don't know meter, so.
It's a Sankart incoming, but nope. Yeah, I think there are good reasons to do either of these routes. I think either is extremely defensible here. I don't know that I have a strong preference between them. I would probably just go to the village and Skull Woods out of inertia, if nothing else. You get 2 crystals rather than 1. But, you know, both of these runners are going to do both of these things. So, but Zeke clearly, with his CAC delay and VOO skip here, not more of a country person than a city person.
Yeah, for sure. And there's also just unique pressures you get into when it's a win or go home race. You don't have a way to really. It's not a best of 3. You don't really have a way to know your opponent's tendencies unless you've played them a lot in like ladder or something else. So I think any sort of reasonable play you make is totally defensible here. It's just playing to your own biases essentially. ScottishBrave quickly through Thieves Town on the way to the blind fight. Let's see if she stays on script.
Zeke headed to Helma before going to the back. I like this play when you don't have the mirror in particular, because it saves you a death warp out of Dark Maze or some extra walking. Beating Helma is a free mirror to the front, so.
Yeah. And also, you just be able to save and quit once you get the items out of Dark Maze. You won't have to like fumble your way around and try and die in that room either.
Exactly. Brave putting herself on the board with crystal number 1 right around 26 minutes.
Very smooth blind fight to script and busting this fire rod out. Now we're going to head up to Skull Woods.
I'm normally a proponent. We're going to check Bumper Ledge first. That makes sense. I normally a proponent of doing Skull Woods back to front. This is one of the situations where I might do it front to back. So you can save and quit out of the back like you would normally. Oh, and there's the OK Boomerang. We're not going to get it today. Very sad.
Unfortunate as Zeke going through sort of room, lighten up the place. I think I actually like a check the first chest to the front. If it's a key, clear out the front. If it's not a key, just go to the boss here. Like, there's a very small chance you're going to want to come out of here if you find basically, specifically a mirror.
Right.
Like, anything else, you're not going to want to head back out of this dungeon, but...
Zeke, unfortunately, with missing these, couldn't get spin speed up here to extend the hammer hitbox. As Brave gets a small key in a big key chest in Skull Woods. Nice despawn there.
Yeah, if you break the Helmosaur's shell, you can despawn any fireballs that are out in the world at that point.
All right, Zeke finally got that hitbox extend, spin speed right at the end when you really need it to land the last 3 hammer hits on Helmosaur's forehead. Takes him down for a Master Sword.
That's a very nice find. That's going to give Zeke a little bit of time advantage in this Mothil fight coming up.
Yeah. Fighter Sword Mothil, no joke. We do have the hammer, which makes it a little easier, and Brave will have a red potion, I believe.
Yeah, it really depends on how practiced you are with the hammer Mothil fight. It can be very tricky if it's something you're not used to.
And of course, Moth has to cooperate. Ooh, Brave, no, get the key. You gotta get the key. You stole the key. Oh, did she get the pot key?
I'm not sure. But she can always just drop down too. And there's also a chest in the front she hasn't checked, so.
That's true. Brave did get the pot key. All right.
Also, even if she doesn't get the key, she can just save and quit. So it's not a big deal.
That's true. And a free blue potion for her trouble.
Yeah, so Scottish Brave getting crystal number 2 on the board. Zeke's got 1 crystal, finishing up the bag of pod. Cane of Burna. Nice little safety item.
That's the first thing of any note in Palace of Darkness, other than that Master Sword on Helma. Brave still looking for that second item in Skull Woods, headed back in. Zeke setting up for a hammer jump. I think was on the pixel and then realized that he was on Fire Rod instead of bombs and messed it up and then ran out of time. So he's going to go through Dark Maze the regular way in the dark, though.
Yeah, with the sword, not too hard to navigate, although you can get knocked off course fairly easily by the Kadongos.
Yep.
And no item in Bridge Chest, so ScottishBrave going to continue on looking for the second item in Skull Woods.
Must not have been a big key in the vanilla, or small key in the vanilla big key chest. This might have to be a key here. I don't know. I'm not super up on my Skullwoods key logic.
When there are 3 small keys and Brave only has found none of them, maybe one.
Yeah, it didn't have to be a key because it wasn't one. So
has to have found one to get to the back without killing the Gibdo. So
yeah.
So gonna get a potion. Spend some of this hard-earned cash.
Zeke is going to Ice Palace.
That is a bold call, but definitely within the realm. It's Crystal, got a hammer, got Master Sword, Fire Rod. There's our second item out of Skull Woods, Bombos. That will help. Brave out in the Ice Palace when she makes that play.
And she is walking out. I'm not sure exactly where she's going. There was a chat. People are and Zeke is headed right into Ice Palace. Someone asked what cross keys was in chat. Cross keys is a mode where the keys, all the keys and dungeon items are shuffled, and so are all of the entrances. Oh, she's going to do Smith Chain to start the Smith Chain. Cross keys. This came up about Brave needing to do a bunch of the Dark World just on Fighter Sword. Cross keys ends up giving you a bunch of time walking around the Dark World with low percent. So
Sneak into Ice Palace bomb strats for the Pen Gators.
Doesn't
and
quite
they're dropping bombs, which is nice.
Yeah. And Zeke, without the Cane of Samaria, is going to have to do the Ice Palace bomb jump as we pull Ether from the first chest in Ice.
We're never going to need one medallion for Misery Mire, so we found 2 of the 3 so far.
Feel pretty good about that. And they're the 2 useful ones.
Yes.
What's going on here?
I'm not sure what's going on here.
Oh, she didn't have 10 rupees. I forgot. The Smiths take 10 rupees.
remember 15 minutes ago when ScottishBrave was like, I dug up the item on first try. I'm done here.
Yeah, there you go.
About that.
Back to bite her a little bit. I forgot about that. And she doesn't have pod money.
No, she's totally broke. Does not have pod money at all.
So gonna do purple chest here.
Yeah, plus hammer pegs.
She did hammer pegs on her first trip.
Oh, all right. Well then, just purple chest. Does have a glove, so will be able to farm money in desert, near desert. But definitely gonna give up a bunch of time based on money management.
Could also just Houlihan, right?
Yeah.
So But she could, you know, she could do Purple Chest and head over towards Ice Palace as well. So doesn't need to do Pod. Having the Master Sword for Ice would be nice for Zeke, but or is nice for Zeke for over Brave.
You're not sure if that's the second or third item for Zeke in Ice Palace, just Heart Container.
It's at least the second. And looks like it was the third because he is headed straight down to Cold Stare. Or at least this is a reasonable, might be a reasonable game.
Oh, no!
Hook shot on Purple Chest.
That is a miserable location for a hook shot. Zeke not going to mess around. Gets on the blue potion as these puffs have kind of split up here in phase 2.
Scottish had opened the Rupee Cave, but with the hook shot, decides not to farm rupees, and she's going to head up the mountain with that hook shot.
Yeah, it makes sense. Ton of checks to do up on the mountain. 8 in the light world, 6 in the dark world.
And by the way, the gamble by Zeke of skipping out on right side Ice Palace is the play, as he gets the third item off of Cold Stare, a big 20, and collects crystal number 2 for him. We got 4
very
crystal
fortunate.
dungeons completed, and they're 2 by each runner, and they're completely different.
Yeah, and Brave will have a chance to do a 5th one up in Tower Hera here in a little bit. Got a Fire Rod out. Master Sword. Zeke's going to head over to Skull Woods right now.
Eagle-eyed chat members noticing that Catfish has to have either the lamp or the flute at this point. The only location that neither of our runners has checked. And being up here on the mountain, and if it seems likely that the other one of those things is going to be up here, or at least something leading to it is going to be up here on the mountain. So if Brave is paying attention, which she is, she's going to notice that if she gets the lamp or the flute up here, perhaps hopefully we'll notice that the other one is going to be on Catfish.
Well, both these runners have a lot that the other hasn't done to kind of lock out.
That's true. That's true. Of
where,
course, right? Yeah. What am I thinking about?
So yeah, Zeke's got Skull Woods to do and Thieves Town to do, and Village of Outcasts, and Scottish Brave has all of Ice Palace and Palace of Darkness. And there's a mirror.
There's our mirror. That's nice to have.
That opens up Pendant Swamp Palace if you're a fan of
Pendant Swamp, 7 items.
If you're a fan of that, I can't imagine either runners are going to be big fans of that. That lamp or flute could also just be in Eastern. We did leave after the Moon Pearl.
That's a good point. Yeah, I forgot about that.
It'll be very interesting to see as these runners kind of. It'll be very interesting to see these runners kind of put the puzzle together and figure out that something that is either soft required in the lamp or absolutely hard required in the flute is in one of these early locations that they've put off or skipped.
Brave gonna go take down Crystal Hera here.
Interesting to do it now. Now that you have the mirror, you could do all of your checks before then and then finish at Hera. Especially because Scottish Brave doesn't have Burna yet to put Spike Cave in logic, so there really isn't much of a decision at the end.
Zeke was hoping for a little bit more magic. A magic drop from one of those. Not gonna get it, but we'll get that one there.
Yeah, Zeke also has 2 potions, a red and a blue. Getting in nice and tight with his hammer.
Ooh, there's the lamp.
Pain. There's the lamp, and so Flute is either at Catfish or an Eastern Palace.
Yeah. And Brave is gonna know at least, you know, once Brave heads down to Pod and Ice, is gonna eventually figure that out. And that Flute is hard required with Mystery Mire being a crystal.
Yep.
While we were waiting, Zeke took down Mocula for crystal number 3, and Brave fighting Moldorm here for her 3rd crystal.
There's the last medallion. Big medallion sitting on Moldorm. So once these runners put together the other dungeons that the other runners have done, we'll not be having a medallion sweat from Misery Mire.
And sorry, Royale, no Hera basement for you today.
So at this point, we need to find that Flute, and we need to find Samaria, and I think that's it for the puzzle.
Yeah, I believe that it is, unless there's anything that's leading to one of those things.
So, sorry, SpeedGaming chat, but goodbye, Pedestal.
Yeah, because Flute can't be on Ped because of
the mirror on the mountain.
Yeah, because of the mirror on the mountain.
And then Samaria locks Turtle Rock.
Ped is dead, long live Ped. Alright, Brave gets her pod money.
Yeah, that's very important, actually, at this point. You know there's a sword sitting in there and Brave needs for go mode. Last thing you want to do is walk over to Pod with, like, 108 rupees and then feel real bad. I've never done that.
Nope. Not once.
Definitely never have done that.
The long and winding road gives us a Master Sword.
That is a sword that, as things have broken, Zeke is likely to never find, I would say.
It's possible.
It's possible. It is way less likely that Zeke finds that sword than Scottish Brave getting tempered off of Helma's sword, because that's required.
Well, I mean, Scottish Brave is guaranteed to get tempered off of Helma, so yes. Yeah, I mean, like, it seems likely that Zeke will head up the mountain and clear it looking for Samaria at the very least, even if he finds the flute here early.
Yeah, unless Samaria is sitting in Swamp Palace, like, there's a decent chance that Samaria is outside of the chain, and Mirror could just be Zeke's go mode. Or Mirror would not even be a go mode. Zeke may just be in go mode going up to the mountain. We didn't find anything absolutely required up there. Quake
true.
Medallion.
Mirror's not required, so yeah.
Quake Medallion might be required.
That's true, yeah. And he's got to kill Moldorm anyway, so.
Actually, that's not true. Mirror could be our way to desert, depending where this book's at. So Mirror may be a go mode.
That's true too, yeah. But yeah, definitely feels like the person who finds the flute first is going to be in a really good spot.
Yeah, and I would not be surprised to see Brave hop back into Eastern Palace, knowing that there is a flute somewhere in the early game.
Well, I mean, there isn't necessarily a flute in the early game. There's a flute before our mountain access, right? And so the flute's got to come before the mirror and the lamp, right? So there's still a lot of places in pod and ice that it could be. So, I mean, I would expect her to go full clear Crystal Ice Palace before dipping into Eastern, even though she has the mirror and she's right here. Eastern is not that hard to get back to.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised she didn't do ice first at this point then.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Do ice first so that if you need to, you're right here to mirror over to Eastern. That's a good point. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I think flute is seems like our likely go mode culprit here in the scene at this point.
Yeah, or depending on whether we find a book for desert or not. That's really the only thing that could make mirror be a go mode. But yeah, it's almost certainly flute and then some area behind flute, probably just under the doormat in Mire Shed or something. Chat asking about catfish. Neither of our runners have kind of taken a run up to that location. That's one of the places where we could have our flute at. But from our perspective, we've seen all of Pod, we've seen all of Ice Palace. It's got to be Catfish or Eastern at this point. Just making real good time here at Thieves Town. And Scottish Brave doing the same thing Zeke did earlier, heading straight to the back first, and then we'll clean up after. Good spot from chat. We saw as Scottish Brave could just head up, do Catfish, and then take the portal back down to Dark Lake Hylia and do Ice Palace that way. See if Zeke can stay on script for his blind fight.
Pretty nice blind script there by Zeke.
Yeah, well done. Is Brave going to head into her Helmet Sword fight? We'll pick up Tempered Sword shortly. 4 crystals on the board for Zeke. This will be crystal number 4 for Brave. And with plenty of health, Scottish Brave, instead of doing the spin speed strat, just decides to face tank some shots, get those 8 slashes in, and get this fight over with.
Zeke now over at South Dark World, so might be hopefully, yeah, he's picking up the Smiths here. Gonna have to do this without the mirror, but hopefully for him we'll end up doing what's it, the purple chest for
purple chest,
yeah. Jesus,
yeah, very nasty set of item locations with that hookshot locking the mirror and hookshot being in purple chest. Just kind of a worst case scenario.
This soundtrack is full of bops.
Yeah, the Ace Attorney soundtrack fits really well into this game, somehow. Brave gets her Burna.
And also, Zeke is doing a live shuffle of 2 different Ace Attorney soundtracks, so that's why you'll hear some going back and forth. Alright, Brave, I assume, going to be headed over to Ice Palace. Zeke, good news for him, is going to get his hook shot here.
Yep. And yeah, Brave done in House of Darkness. Had enough there. We'll not head on to Eastern. We'll head to Ice Palace. So the 2 locations where we know something's at between them is going to be almost certainly last locations for Brave. I think after Ice Palace, she's going to do Swamp, looking for that Samaria.
I would think. We'll see how Scottish routes this. We know that from Zeke's routing that there's nothing on the right side.
Correct.
And so Zeke gambled on that after getting 2 items pretty quickly. Gambled on Cold Stare having the 3rd item and was correct. And so if Scottish goes over to the right side, unfortunately, that is time loss for her.
Yeah, but she will have a faster Cold Stare fight. And it's going to be hard not to. Yeah, Zeke only had Master Sword for that fight, and it wasn't the cleanest, but Zeke going to take this hook shot head of the mountain and get that mirror. And we'll get the information, and the lamp, and get the information that this flute has got to be in 1 or 2 places, because Zeke has done everything else.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, we know the flute has to be in either Eastern Palace or Catfish.
Yeah. So I think that'll make Zeke's decision after this much different than Brave's. Brave has a lot more incentive to go to Swamp Palace, try and find Samaria. She'll know as well that Eastern Palace and Catfish have to have the flute between them, but she's already in this area. Meanwhile, Zeke is going to, I would assume, head directly to Catfish first. It's the worst of the 2 checks. And with this mirror, can get back to Eastern fairly quickly after Catfish.
Well, why wouldn't Zeke, after getting the mirror up here, right? Because the mirror's up here. Zeke has the mirror now, right? It was here in Paradox Cave. So, I mean, why wouldn't Zeke just also beeline it to Swamp Palace? He'll have the same information that Brave does at that point.
Because Zeke knows the flute has to be in 1 of 2 places, and it is just as likely for Samaria to be behind the flute, and that's all both these runners need at this point. Zeke should have gotten Bombos from Skull Woods, but I'm not sure. We'll pick up Quake on the mountain out of Hera.
And Brave is going back up to do the right side, so going to lose a little bit of time here.
Zeke can open up, turn around while he's up here.
TR is dead though.
TR is 100. Yeah, TR is 100% dead, and Zeke should know that.
Hey, welcome to our Raiders from the Go Mode podcast. Watching some Mentor Tournament finals there. This is SpeedGaming Prime. My name's Tyler Salt. I'm here with James FNX in the booth for this Casual Boots Tournament first round bracket race between ScottishBrave44 on the left side of your screen, Zeke Highwind on the right side of your screen. We got Royale Cheese pressing buttons. We are looking for Flute and Cane of Samaria at this point.
Yeah, it's a nail biter here. This is best of one action in the Casual Boots Tournament. Winner's going to move on to the round of 32. Loser's going to be done for this season.
Loser is prepping for League.
Absolutely. I like this route from Zeke. Gonna utilize the mirror to get these checks done a little bit faster. We'll end on well, the option ending on Spike Cave does have that burn up. So
good call, yeah.
Pick up Spiral here. We'll get that Tempered Sword.
Where do I want Cane? In my hands. I don't care where it comes from. I want it in my hands, in my inventory.
I think these runners are going to end up wanting this Cane to be in different locations.
Mm-hmm.
I think Zeke's going to want it to be vanilla, and I think Brave is going to want it in Swamp.
Not entirely sure why Zeke went all the way around there to get to Hera when he could have just climbed Paradox Cave again.
This might actually be faster, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
It feels like it's close. Yeah, Scottish Brave did a full clear of this dungeon, found nothing. We'll find out that the last item is on the boss, as Zeke showed us earlier.
Yeah, and remember that Zeke went right there and saved some time. Brave, not a full magic bar, gonna open up Cold Stare with Bombos here.
This Zeke's decision also could have been a bit of cross keys Seed Bleed. I know Zeke plays a ton of entrance rando, so sometimes that's the only way to get over to back up to Hera is to hookshot over and mirror up.
And willkommen to our raid from SpeedGaming Deutsch over there with a very nice raid. This Casual Boots Tournament race.
Zeke does get the dash pixel to get between that pit and that bumper.
Where is Brave headed next?
It is absolutely Swamp Palace. Hopefully, Brave remembers that Flute can't be in Swamp.
Guess it could be Catfish.
It is Catfish, all right.
Yeah, Pyramid Ledge and Catfish here. All right, our runners have reached parity, basically. So they've now done, with the exception of Spike Cave, where Zeke is headed next. Will have done all of the same checks. Zeke headed to Spike Cave looking for Samaria. Brave headed up to Catfish looking for the Flute.
Yeah, this is a potential huge thing if Samaria is here in Spike Cave. Very unlikely, but this does have the potential to swing this race strongly in Zeke's favor. But it's just 20 rupees.
It's red.
So both these runners should have nailed it down by now that the Flute is either on Catfish or on one of the other two items in Pendant Eastern Palace. Both these runners grabbed a Moon Pearl out of the first chest of Eastern Palace and left immediately. which at the time made a ton of sense. They had mitts and hammer and a ton of stuff to do.
Where's Zeke? Oh, Zeke's going to graveyard ledge to catfish here.
Yeah. Graveyard ledge can't have the flute. Could have Samaria. Oh, powder
on catfish.
Oh,
that's gross. Brave gonna run right over and turn that in at Magic Bat.
Yeah, it's a 1 in 3 chance of being a flute, and then a 1 in 100 or something chance of being a Samaria. I like those odds.
Yeah, I'll take them.
This is another bad news location of Samaria is right here in Graveyard Ledge for Zeke, but it's also another.
Well, it's red. But yeah, Zeke, as expected, is headed over to catfish. Oh, well,
it's also red.
Red percent here. All right, Eastern Palace, the answer for our flute. Both of our runners going to be feeling very bad about that, thinking, "Oh my God, of course my opponent and Brave successfully resisting the Siren Call of Pendant Swamp, and does know that the flute has to be over here in the Eastern Palace at this point." And so that is good news for her. She's going to be the first to the flute.
Yeah,
but and both of our runners, again, the Moon Pearl was in Cannonball Chest here. And so both of our runners bailed after the Moon Pearl. So both of them are undoubtedly going to be thinking, "Oh man, my opponent definitely just kept going and has had the flute for an hour." You know, so got to avoid that mental damage.
Yeah, so yeah, both these runners have this on their mind where maybe my opponent stayed, had bow, we had plenty of health, maybe my opponent just stuck around, and I'm in deep trouble right now. And that's kind of the racer brain every racer goes through.
Oh yeah.
My opponent hit the route, I'm dead.
Zeke having a little bit of indecision there for a second. Going into the Dark World.
Not sure what's up with Zeke here at this point. He's already done hammer pegs and all the stuff here in Thieves Town.
Cave 45.
It's never been anything in Cave 45.
Yeah, never.
There it is.
And
there's still an item in Eastern Palace.
There's still an item in Eastern Palace. Surely Eastern Palace can't have 3 progressive items in it. Surely.
I'll tell you a story about an open seed I watched someone run a couple nights ago. They're in chat right now. It's just I'm telling this story about a Pendant Swamp that had 4 progression items.
Amazing.
There is no law that says there can't be 3 progression items in Eastern Palace.
There's no rule that says a dog can't play rando.
That's right. Alright, big check for Zeke here. Cave 45. I feel like Zeke's had a bunch of these big checks that have paid off with red items that don't actually do anything.
Yeah, the number of... There's another one with the cape. All right, Desert Palace and Misery Mire area here for Brave.
Yeah, you're definitely going to do Mire Shed, Desert Palace, and Checkerboard before hopping into Mire.
Because this is Swamp Palace for Zeke.
This is the coin flip, right? Yeah. It's about the same number of items between the 2 locations.
you still need the flute, right? So, I can't say I like this.
Well, Zeke knows where the flute's at this point, 100%.
That's true.
If Zeke
it's the flute.
If Zeke finds Samaria in here, you just leave, go get your flute.
Go get your flute.
The other thing is that with Swamp being the green pendant, if you finish this dungeon out and you take your green pendant over to Eastern Palace and get another check there, if Samaria isn't in here.
Yeah.
But this is basically just which pendant looks better.
This is make or break time for this race right here.
Whereas one of the pendants is a crystal and an uncompletable crystal dungeon. As we find gold swords sitting in Big Chest of Desert Palace. That's one of the 2 items here. I would suspect that both runners...
Brave decided not to go to the right side of Desert here. He's going to look for the second item on Lambo.
Yeah, absolutely. You've already found 1 item in this dungeon. You do have to beat the boss anyways. It's a crystal. There's literally no reason not to make this play first and save yourself a trip to the right-hand side if you can.
Especially having not found the map or the compass.
Right.
Yeah, for those of you just joining us or joining us recently, this is where this game is going to come down to. We are looking for the Cane of Samaria. It is either here in Swamp Palace or it is in this Mire Desert area. The flute we know is in Eastern Palace. We have nailed that down, not only because Scottish has it, but because logic dictates that it has to be there. Zeke does not know Bomb Diver down. Samaria could also be in Eastern.
Yep, Samaria. There's still 1 item in Eastern Palace, but the bad news for Zeke is that the one-off checks that could have really paid off that are very, very out of the way for Scottish Brave at this point, Spike Cave, K45, Graveyard Ledge. Zeke did all of that and found 40 rupees in a cape that he just refused to pick up. I do respect that play.
I don't. Cape's great. The right side skip in Desert pays off for Brave as Lambo has the second item, 50 rupees.
All right.
And, she's going to dip the Misery Mire here.
Yeah, checkerboard first and then Misery Mire.
Checkerboard first, yeah, of course. And then hoping for a French Vanilla or Vanilla Cane.
The Swamp has not had it yet.
We did see the map, I think in Diver Down Room. So there is still there's at least 1 item on left side. Checkerboard not the answer.
Yeah, and there's no way you don't go back in if you're Zeke at this point. Like, if you're making this play, knowing where the flute has to be, you have to get all 6 items out of here.
Mire Brave not going into Mire is going to go into Swamp first.
All right, so if you're a Zeke fan, you want Samaria to be on the green pendant or in the back of Eastern Palace.
Yep. Oh no! Big. She's just doing K45 first. I see. Okay.
Why? There's nothing. There's never anything in K45.
Ever.
There's nothing ever. Not once in the history of the game.
It's weird that they even put an item there at all.
It's just so strange. Not a Cane of Samaria. Another red drop for Zeke that isn't the Cane of Samaria in the back of Swamp. Does pick up that green pendant. You got to go back in. You just have to.
Hesitated for a second though.
Yeah, if this is the decision you've made, you just have to commit to this decision at this point.
Yeah. We'll see if Brave decides to do left side first. Probably not.
No, hunting for 1 item, probably not doing that. We did find a big key already, so it is 2 items, I believe. It is 1 item, I'm sorry. And a compass in the left side.
That's correct.
At least it isn't one item and big key and compass. That's just the worst.
For a real answer to that question, although chat being favored is correct, these two are pretty closely seated. I would not say that there's a strong favorite between the two.
Yeah, Zeke did exit groups with a slightly better record, but both these runners are sitting high 20s, low 30s in the seating, so not much of a gap between these two runners. And they were in different groups, so we can't really judge record to record based on opponent quality, things like that. Zeke with a brave little hookshot clip that
I can't bring myself to do that.
It saves like 1/10 of a second, and if you miss it, you lose like 10 seconds. Not asking if this single elimination it is. Best of 1 all through the brackets. 6 wins will get you the title in this tournament. 1 loss will send you home.
All right, left side swamp, not the answer, just blueberries.
All right, directly to Eastern Palace. Directly to Saraslo first.
Yeah, directly to Saha and Eastern Palace.
Yeah, so Zeke at this point has a bit of an edge. Will be first to any location where some Maria could be. But does still have to finish Desert Palace. Just some bombs. So, Eastern Palace, 3 items. All required.
Nah, it's just vanilla.
Yeah, it's more likely to Meyer. There's 2 items in there. 1 we will certainly have access to.
Now the question for Zeke is, does Zeke bail after getting the flute here?
I don't think you can.
I think Zeke you have to.
I think if Zeke has been monitoring things, like, yeah, Desert Area is 2 items, and then Meyer Shed is 2 items, and Checkerboard is 1, so that's 5, 6 items in the Meyer area. But you have to think that your opponent has already done all of this.
Yeah, but that might make you likely to bail, even more likely to bail, right? You know, like, I'm probably last to this flute. I need to, I need to get going.
Yeah, there's definitely that reason. There's also that I've got to play to my outs. My out is that my opponent left this dungeon after these 2 items. Especially both those items being free land.
True.
So you can kind of like, it's really how you decide you want to read the metagame of this race. Do you think your opponent left with just the Moon Pearl? Do you think they left with Moon Pearl and Flute? Certainly they didn't do all 3 at the start, but you just kind of have to figure out what your outs are at the end of this race.
And he is continuing on, and Brave is turning in the green pendant here. We'll see if she ends up going back into Eastern Palace looking for Zamaria.
She has to as well. All of her checks at this point are just terrible locations. K45, she did, but
I think you go to Meyer. I think you go back to Meyer, and I think that she is. I think you have to play to win here. Oh no, she's doing one-offs now. This is Graveyard Ledge. She doesn't want to go into Misery Mire. I think you have to go to Meyer at this point. I mean, I would have dipped into Meyer before.
I think it makes more sense for Brave, because Brave has all of these terrible one-off locations that you just commit that Meyer has it, and if it doesn't, you accept that you just can't win. I think staying in Eastern makes a lot of sense for Zeke, just because all those one-off locations have been done and were nothing.
Yeah,
that
I would agree with that.
He really needs it to be in a very bad location and not in Misery Mire to win this race.
Yep.
We're going all the way through because Big Key Chest had Compass, so the last item is on the Armor Knights.
And Brave notably despises Misery Mire as well. Her least favorite dungeon.
This is going to be the Misery Mire play from Scottish Brave, though, after doing one of those terrible checks. And Zeke having a casual Armos Knight.
Zeke, casual arms. Zeke was a little bit too close to, a little bit too far left, and so got hit by the center knight before doing it. And just 3 bombs there. Misery Mire has the cane.
Yeah, this is going to be a very close race, and Zeke very smartly just saving quitting and not collecting that, not collecting the pendant. It's totally worthless.
Zeke running over to activate the flute, but this and Zeke still has desert to do. This is Brave's race to lose at this point.
Yeah. Zeke needed this needed Samari to be in one of these terrible locations, and it just wasn't there today.
Yeah, lots of heads up. Ooh, Silver's in Mire. You'd love to see that. Lots of heads up routing decisions by Zeke here today. Reading the logic really well, and just unfortunately, rando gonna rando sometimes, and your decisions aren't gonna work out.
I do like this from Zeke, though, doing desert first before any of the overworld checks in this area.
Yeah.
Chat asking if it could be the book in here instead of cane. It absolutely could.
Sure could, yeah.
Could also be a mushroom, but it's something that leads to the cane. We've already found one item in here. The other item's definitely going to be before the boss.
Come on, Vanilla Cane. Zeke losing a little bit of extra time, doing the right side of Desert first, looking for that second item just as the map comes. There is the cane at 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 18 seconds or so. Scottish Brave is in go mode.
Nice stair extension there to save a little bit of time running down and back up. Yeah, with silver arrows down, gold sword, red mail, and everything but half magic. It's just going to come down to execution at this point, and Scottish Brave has a pretty big lead. Manmo's just about down here. Gold sword tearing them apart. Crystal number 6 for Zeke, and Brave on the way to crystal number 7 here in Vitreous.
And that's crystal number 7. Hey James, do you want to play a game?
Does it involve numbers?
It does involve numbers, specifically numbers 1 through 22.
I do like numbers. Chad apparently likes numbers a lot too.
Yeah, we're gonna go and play the Guinness Tower Big Key guessing game. Put a number between 1 and 22 in a chat, and if that check is the number where check is where Brave finds the GT Big Key, you will win. Let's say 4,639 internet points today.
Oh wow, that's a lot of valuable internet points.
Yeah.
Not only that, you get bragging rights to your friends and family. So
Put it on
always
your Twitter
important.
bio.
Absolutely. Today I won the GT Big Key guessing game.
AMA.
I kind of want to just Photoshop up something like that in like Papyrus or Comic Sans.
Papyrus.
Where do you think the Big Key is going to be at?
My number is always 9. I like 9.
I'm going to say it's unlucky number 13 today.
All right.
Great, we'll head over to GT and we'll get our favorite form of astrology in Link to the Past Rando, GT routing.
Brave is a hope left person, if I recall correctly.
All right, I am occasionally a hope left person. I have much more been a Stalfos right person lately, though.
I've become a Rando Rush guy.
Rando Rush, yeah, that's you're all valid.
All routes are valid. Some routes are more valid than others.
Yeah, if you're a Tower Room Rusher,
valid.
Good luck to you.
Yeah. Oh, but Brave has the cane out.
If you find a small key here, I think it's this is like the variable hope right or hope left. No small key, so you're right next to the mirror. I like Stalfos right because you just never have to deal with killing the Stalfos.
Yeah, it's a nice advantage of that. The other advantage of Stalfos right is that it is a very defensive route. So if you feel like you're in the lead, but only by a little bit, you can do Stalfos right to maximize the chances, or like minimize variance, you know?
Right. That's 7 checks, and we found some money and a couple keys and not much else. Only thing of interest we're going to find in here, other than that big key, is potentially half magic. I think we have to find it because we've checked everywhere else in this game.
Yep. Well, it's red. I'm going to keep saying that. By the way, Zeke got his cane, and he's in go mode as well.
Chat does say there is a Turtle Rock, but who wants to go there? Not me.
I feel like Zeke probably should have picked up that full magic.
It's not silvers. Has enough to... won't be able to spooky. I don't know Zeke spookies anyways, but definitely won't have enough magic to spooky. 9 checks down, 10 through 13 coming up for Brave here in Radar Room. It's number 12.
Number 12, GTs.
It looks like our winner today is KGL1979. Congratulations on that bounty of valuable internet points and all of the fame and fortune that you get from winning the Big Key Guessing Game here on SpeedGaming.
I'd tell you how many points you won, but I made it up on the spot and I don't remember. So, oh, thanks, Lana, 4,639.
Lana being our unofficial statistician. Oh, you also get a copy of the Link to the Past Randomizer home game.
Ooh.
Which is just a Link to the Past Randomizer.
Yeah, shout out to everybody else who said 12. By the way, I just want to note, Rando Rush was the correct play.
Yeah, I am. My Southwest Right blood would have cost me some time here, but that's why it's astrology. Like, there's so many different routes, and depending where the big key is, one route's better than the other in one race, and one route's better than the other in another race. And
yeah, no, just pick the one that you like and do it. I like doing Rando Rush because I like showing everybody the DLC of right side of the full right GT.
Oh, you like the E room?
I love the E room. Shout outs to capital E's. That's one of my favorite rooms in the game because it looks like it's gonna be complicated and you just dash. It's hilarious.
Yeah, this room is. How do I do this? Oh, I just run. Okay, got it. All right, all down to execution. Scottish Brave all ready to the torch room. There's a lamp out. Got through land modes very quickly because you have a gold sword and silver arrows. Why wouldn't we get through that quickly? Plenty of magic for this room. All right, one last room between Scottish Brave and a little bit of a boss rush. This room sucks. No, no way around it. Hell-Masaur room is very bad.
Hell-Masaur room.
And now it's time for a class in agonometry.
Zeke, unfortunately, doing a Dark Magician route, losing him even more time. Nice Agatsu fight by Brave. That's the toughest fight to optimize in the game.
So many different positions those Agas can get in, and it's all a matter of reacting more than being on a script or anything, like several fights in this game.
Like some fights I can name.
Right, gaining time. Scottish Brave has gold swords, silver arrows, maybe a potion still. I'm not sure.
Yeah, she's got a blue. I don't think she used that.
Phase 1 down, Phase 2 down, 4 slashes in Phase 3.
Oh, look what Zeke's doing.
Zeke is doing the actual Dark Magician, doing the full right side rush.
Shoutouts to Capital E's.
Sadly,
yeah.
Sadly, this is going to be
the worst route, unfortunately, in this situation with the big
yeah.
around.
Into Phase 4, 4 silver arrows into this pig. Got 1 in there already, a couple more coming right now. And let's get those GGs ready in chat as we have a winner here in this first round matchup. GGs. Congratulations to Scottish Brave. Crossing the finish line. The official time of 1 hour, 30 minutes, 46 seconds, thanks to racetime.gg. And Zeke has had enough.
Really fun race. Thanks to both of our runners. We're going to see if we can't get them into the booth for an interview.
Yeah, really interesting race. It came down to kind of how both these runners routed through the mid game. Zeke had a little bit more to do with the items that he had versus what Scottish Brave had. Ended up doing a little bit extra in terms of checks, and it kind of pushed Zeke towards making a little bit more thorough play in Eastern Palace at the end of the game. But you don't need to hear it from me. We can hear it from our runners today. Scottish Brave and Zeke Highwind, thanks for joining us in here.
GG's.
GG's to the both of you. Very, very interesting seed. A lot of being aware of what logic breaks had to put certain items in locations.
Yeah, that I didn't like that flute very much.
You either?
No, got min pearl saved quit, and I was like, yes, I'm out of here. And then as I went on, I'm like, flute's not in Eastern. It's not. And then it was.
I made a mistake of going into swamp, so.
Yeah, so did I. The only thing I skipped out there was
logically,
left side.
Logically, I should have known that the flute could not be in swamp.
Yeah, but Samaria could have at least.
Yeah.
So I think it was a reasonable play going in there, looking for Samaria at a minimum. But Brave, you
I would have gone
been
to
over to
Iron Desert first.
Yeah, you probably would have
If I
done that
realistic.
first, but yeah. So a little unfortunate there, but yeah, it became clear once we saw the lamp up the mountain, and you guys routed the kind of early game and mid game extremely differently. So we had a lot of information that you two didn't, and so it became pretty clear early on that the flute was gonna be either in Eastern Palace or at Catfish. Those were the only places that it could be, given the fact that the lamp was up on Death Mountain. So unfortunately, it took a while for you guys to get there.
Yeah, the only reason, well, I did purple chest, but I ran out of money for pod.
Yeah, no, we saw that too. It's unfortunate.
That's why I was like, Mitchin, go and have some money for me. They gave me the hook shot, and I stood there and I was like, I'm gonna just go up the mountain now. I was ready to go to the 50 rupee cave, farm up some money, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna just go up the mountain now, I think. So it was good, because it did give me some information about where the flute could be, or had to be, but yeah, when I went back into Eastern and got the flute, I was not feeling fantastic after that, for sure.
I had words, and there are words I cannot say here.
I was
I
gonna
think Scottish knows some of those words.
Probably one amongst my first words, I would imagine.
Zeke, did you consider noping out of Eastern after getting the flute? Or were you always going to continue on hoping that Samaria was on Armos?
There was no way I was leaving there with how few items were left, even with the flute coming in.
Yeah, we were talking. I think this whole time, Zeke, you had some unconventional routing in the beginning and the mid game, and I think that we both said you did a great job of playing to your outs. You know, of keeping track of where everything was and
Except
the
that
logic.
lamp.
Well, yeah, but and like playing to the things like, all right, these are the places that I need these things to be if I'm gonna win this. Was that your kind of subjective experience of the seed as well?
I'm a big fan of following rule ABCD.
Yep.
You might have noticed I played East Pod and Ice before even touching Village.
Yes, we did notice that. So, and we thank you for it again, because that gave us a lot of information early on, so we could kind of speculate about where things, or we could figure out where things had to be, which always makes for a nice broadcast.
Shout out to the incredible Ice Palace item layout, by the way.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Item and compass chest, big key and freezer, and both items on big chest and cold stare. Don't have to go right.
Yeah, it worked out really well for you in that dungeon.
And honestly, if there was an item left over after cold stare, I was going to leave it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have blamed you in that situation for sure.
If that cane had not been in mire, I think I would have had a better shot.
Yeah, that's how it felt from our perspective. You were a little bit more thorough. Especially up the mountain, you had access to Spike Cave, whereas Scottish Brave did not up there. And then a couple of the mirror checks you made before committing to the Eastern Palace area. Yeah, sometimes it's just sometimes the cane is just in mire, unfortunately.
Yeah, Scottish, I regret to remind you that today Meyer did in fact have the juice. How did you feel about that?
You take that back. You take that back.
See, Mire is the best dungeon.
It's no longer called Mire. It's now called Juicy Town, apparently.
Juicy Town.
Juicy Town.
Oh, I hate it.
Sang to the beat of Funky Town by Lip Sync, so feel free to start singing, Combs, if he's like. It's up to you.
Please
Won't
don't.
you take me to Juicy Town?
Please don't.
Dun dun.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. There we go. We need to craft a new MSU. I'm ready for it. I'm here for it. Honestly, I cleared swamp and I'll skip left side. I handed in the green pendant and I was like, it's just sitting in mire, isn't it? I know it is. It's just sitting in mire. Went in and I got the silver so early and I was like, it's not. It's sitting in Spike Cave. I know it's going to be in Spike Cave now, but I'm here. I have to look. And when I got it, I think I nearly rolled my eyes out the back of my head. That was just no.
That's probably the second worst item to have be in its vanilla dungeon, behind the hook shot. I would say.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
You've never played a non-progressive bows with your bow being vanilla, have you?
No, that's fun too. That's always fun. But at least there are more checks in those dungeons, you know?
Yeah, it's worthwhile going into them. Mayo's just like, yeah, I've only got 2 items, but maybe one of them's Samaria. Do you want to come and look? And you're like, no, I don't.
I'm also not a fan of vanilla fire rod because it's the exact same number of items as Mire.
Oh, see, I like vanilla fire rod because I'm an always dip Skullwoods guy.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I like
dip Skullwood. Dunkerwood always go to Dunker Woods.
I'm not. I make my teammates do that in League, in co-op weeks.
All right. So Zeke, unfortunately, that's it for the tournament for you. How has your Casual Boots tournament experience been?
Well, this seed was still nicer than every single seed I played in groups, so I'm pretty sure I had 5 out of 6 Agas and 2 Pet.
Oh, man.
So this was absolutely a nicer seed than most of my group stage. I think I had a 120 seed as my only saving grace.
And Brave, you are headed on to the round of 32. You'll be facing the winner of Kantos and Foxlisk. Do you know either of those runners? Any feelings about facing them?
I've met Kantos a few times on the ladder. Foxlisk, I don't believe I've had the pleasure of racing before. I don't.
Foxlisk will be dangerous if you get him.
I think both are dangerous. There's. I'll definitely. Well, if the weather could cool down, that would be nice because I think I spent the last half hour melting, and I think I actually got to the stage I was panting like a dog. It's unbelievable. So
try to get Zen to come in and open a window for you.
I don't know how to signal that. So no, I will. I'm definitely going to be bringing my A game regardless of who I face. But yeah, Kantos we've raced a couple of times on ladder, and I think Foxless would be a new one. So either way, yeah, I'm looking forward to the next match. It would be incredible.
And hopefully we can get it on one of the SpeedGaming family of networks. GG's to both of you. Once again, and congratulations, Brave, for moving on in the tournament.
Thank you very much.
James, an absolute delight to work with you today.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure working with you as well. Taking a look and seeing what we got for scheduled matches in the round of 64 here in the Casual Boots tournament.
I don't believe we have that many set up for restream at the moment. But
yeah,
believe it or not, you know that match we were talking about? The Foxless Kantos who goes on to play Scottish next?
Yep.
That's in an hour.
That is in an hour. It's not being restreamed, but you should maybe check them out on a multi-stream. That is going to be it for Links of the Past. Oh, excuse me, not it. Over at the let's see. In a little over an hour at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, there is a race in the No Logic tournament, Nobly versus Krellbell, Game 2. That's fun. If you haven't watched any of the No Logic tournament, I highly recommend it. That mode is absolute bananas. It is a lot of fun. As someone who doesn't play any glitched modes and can't even pull off a teleport, not once. Really, really fun to watch those players just completely break this game into a million pieces in no logic.
I probably have a better understanding of that mode than you three do, and I'm still scared of it.
Oh yeah, no, it's terrifying. It's basically 216 item pickup, and it's a lot of fun to watch. That's over on SpeedGaming 2 here at 4 p.m. Eastern. Time, so in about an hour and 15 minutes. So check that out. And then we've got a bunch of other stuff on SpeedGaming. We've got some Mario 3 randomizer later today. A lot of Super Metroid rando as well. So check those out on the SpeedGaming family of networks today. Thank you very much to Royale with Cheese for pushing buttons for us, to Drossi for helping set up the restream. Not from any sort of conveyance today, I believe from the ground. Not in a car, not in a plane today, which is an upgrade for Drossi, I have to say. And GG's once again to our runners.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Thanks to both SpeedGaming and ZSR for helping restream this tournament. Because I know both networks have done it. So
absolutely.
And sorry to the Queen of Hera Basement as well. I'm sorry I couldn't go and check your domain. I do apologise.
Usually I avoid mentioning the other network on whichever network I'm on, but when both of you are handling it, I got them shut both out.
Yeah, that's all good. Lots of rando out there. There's room for everybody.
Of course. Yeah. And Brave, go win for me. Go win the entire tournament.
I'll try.
do it. You won't.
You see who's in this?
I mean, Zelga San got eliminated. Anything can happen.
It's a best of one in casual boots. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
And anything does happen, it's Randomizer. Thanks, everybody, for watching today. Thanks to James FNX for joining me in the booth, and to Real with Cheese for tracking, and to Brave and Zeke for running, and to Chat for being chat. We love you. Stick around over on the SpeedGaming family of networks, like I said, for some Metroid in a bit, and some Link to the Past No Logic in a bit as well. Thanks, everybody. My name is Tyler Saul, here for everybody at the SpeedGaming family of networks. I wish you good night and good luck.